What's going on, fight fans? Welcome to my recap here of the Tim Tszyu Bakram Murtazulayev fight. It was on last night in Orlando, Florida, and to say it was an upset would be an understatement. Murtazulayev came in as a 4-1 underdog. However, as I spoke earlier this week, I said this is a very tough fight to take coming back. I think Tim had a very tough fight against Fundora in his last fight. It was a tough fight. He suffered a massive cut in his scalp, and it was a bloodbath. So to come back from that fight, you're fighting a guy who's extremely tough and really not well known. So the risk reward, I think you have to kind of weigh in first before you fight. Start going back up to that elite level. And at some point, he would have had to fight Murtazulayev, but at this point in his first fight back, I didn't think he had to, but he did. So I had the fight go. Well, the first round kind of uneventful. I thought that Tszyu's style for the fight was a little bit in question. In the first round, I thought it was not much action going on. Back and forth a little bit, but nothing crazy. In the second round is when I thought Tim got hit with that initial first left hook, and he was when he got hit, his expression changed. It was more like, "Ruh-roh." That was the first knockdown. And when he got knocked down, he kind of folded in. His body went down first, his head leaned forward. And that's never a good sign. That means there's almost like a disconnection between your brain and your body. But I give him credit. He got back up. A little shook. It wasn't like a flash knockdown. It was a legit knockdown where he was disconnected from his body a little bit. Never a good sign for the first knockdown, but also so early in the fight and in the round. Got knocked down a second time. Didn't look great. The third one was a real bad knockdown. I thought the third one was the one that really put him in a position because he was when he was trying to come back, he was getting hit by punches he couldn't see. There was, I think, lies Tszyu's mistake in this fight. When he got hit by those big shots, he got hit and knocked down again, and then knocked down again 3 times, 1 round. He needed to back up. And even I was watching the fight with my wife. I said, what is he thinking? Recover a little bit. Get yourself. But I don't think Tim, and all the credit in the world to Tim, I don't think Tim Tszyu knows how to fight anyway other than coming forward, throwing punches. And like he said in a post-fight interview, he's willing to die in here. But that's a mistake. When you fight a guy like Bakram, it is a mistake. Because the guy can flat out fight. He could punch, and he's a one tough. You're not going to out tough Bakram. He's just a tough guy, not well known, but a guy who can give anybody at 154 a run for the money. If not, I would say he's probably the guy in the division. I don't think the Charles want any part of him. Fundora, I don't think would fight him. Spence it would be a nightmare if Spence fought him. And I think that's something that you look at when taking a fight like that. I know that you should fight the best out there, the best available. I get it. But a fight like this, you got to look on a business sense and look long term. I don't think this is a good matchmaking. I said it a week ago. I didn't, because he was not well known. Nobody knew who this guy was, really. Yeah, he was undefeated and he was IBF champion, but he was fighting overseas. He was a guy who was willing to go into someone's hometown to fight him, his home country to fight him, let alone town, and would win. So for me, it was a tough call to put Tim back in the ring like that, because these knockouts like this was a bad beating. This was a really bad beating. Tim was a 4-1 favorite here, and he got beat really bad. And to tell you again why it was such a bad fight, if he's a 4-1, if Tim's a 4-1 favorite, that tells you that they don't know who this guy is. There is no way he should have been a 4-1 favorite. No way. I think the odds that those I would gather to say, even when he's coming back from that kind of a fight, I don't know if Tim should be the favorite. I know hindsight's 2020, and I'm looking, and everyone's looking at me like that. But before the fight, I said it. I said this is a way tougher fight for Tim Tszyu to take on his comeback fight. Way, way, way difficult. So now we go into round 3. Tim is already, I think, done. Not mentally or just he's with his heart. I think he wants to try. He was giving it everything he got. He gave no sign to the doctor in the corner that he wanted to quit. He was, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight, which every fighter does. But Tim, especially on this, there was something I have to commend him for. He would not give up. He got hit with a slight punch. It was not even a hard punch. Rocked him back to the ropes. And even the doctor, even the referee, the round before said one more time, and this fight's over. And that was when he got knocked down. He got knocked down again. And he got up, wanted to continue, but his corner threw the towel in. Smart move. I think it could have been stopped before because it was just a beating that I haven't seen a beating like that from a high-level fighter, two high-level fighters, one-sided ass whooping. I haven't seen a fight like that in a long time. In a long time. He got his ass whooped badly. And unfortunately, these are one of those knockouts. Well, it wasn't a knockout, but it was one of these stoppages and beatings that could really change the trajectory of your career. I wouldn't like to see that, but it can do that. Tim's spirits were pretty good after the fight, I thought. I thought he was kind of like, hey, this is the man. This guy Bakram is the guy in the division. So I give him credit for that. But it definitely makes me question the management in his comeback fight. And it's not a fault of anybody's. I just thought that this was a fight you shouldn't take. But they did want to get back into the title picture right away. I think they believed that they were beating Fandor pretty easily. I would have pushed for that Fandor rematch. And from what I understand, I think his scalp did cut open again, which could be a problem. It might not have been the same spot, but I did read that it said, and when I watched the fight, I didn't see that. But someone did say, reported that his scalp did cut open again. I'd have to check into that before I do it. But I just wanted to quick give you guys a recap. I got here into the studio to do it as fast as I could. But today there will be Boxing on Bagels. I don't know if it'll be Coach Diz. It may even be Kevin Ioli today to go over the big PFL fight last night. Francis Ngannou returning. And there's a lot I have to say about that one. So let me wrap this up by saying this. Tim Tszyu gets stopped. TKO 155, round 3. A great effort by Tim Tszyu. Bakram, though, is just way too tough. Bakram Murtalayev is a tough fighter. So, guys, watch me today, later on today. Boxing and Bagels returns. Don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. We'll see you later on.